Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I've got some Dollar Tree DIYs I'd like to share with you. First project we're working on today is this Dollar Tree wood piece that I had picked up and some Jenga blocks, this little heart that I used from a previous project, Waverly chalk paint in white, antique wax, and folk art chalk paint in black. Also using my hot glue gun and a pair of scissors. First thing I'm doing is I am just going to cut this nautical rope off and setting it to the side because, save your scraps because you may need it for another project. And I'm just going to go in and do 2 coats of that white chalk paint. I was inspired by something I had seen on Pinterest recently that gave me the inspiration for this. And there's the ones that I had seen on Pinterest, like it said something else, but I chose to use the words "happiness is homemade." I thought that was really cute and very farmhousey. Next thing I'm doing is I'm taking that antique wax paint and I'm just going to paint these 4 Jenga blocks. And I only do 1 coat with this. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of black paint and I'm just going to paint that little heart. That heart is it's a wooden heart, and you may not have one of these, but you know what? If you still have those wooden hearts left over from Valentine's Day from Dollar Tree, those will work just fine too. So next I'm just taking my hot glue gun and I'm just going to apply this. This is going to be our roof to our little house. And you'll see that later on I do end up having to cut one of my Jenga blocks because it ended up being a little too long. The 2 sides didn't match up right, and it wasn't looking right, and I wasn't happy with it. So I went out to my garage, got a little saw out, sawed part of it off, and it ended up working out just fine. Next, I'm just going to hot glue my little heart right there in the center. And I'm just kind of placing everything just so I can see where I want everything to go. Initially, I had printed out this "Happiness is Homemade" sign. I just printed it right off my computer. I did like a Yahoo Images and, and I just printed it out. And then I'm just going to do that transfer method, pencil on the back and then tracing over the lines. And you know what's really funny is that I ended up going through all this work, and then later on, you don't see me doing this, but I ended up not liking the way it turned out. I was completely unhappy with it, and so I was going to leave it alone, and then I was hemming and hawing, and then I just decided to paint it white all over again and start over from scratch. So what you see here with these little designs and the way it is written is not the way it ended up being in the end. But I'm really glad that I did it that way. And it's just one of those things, like if you mess up, paint will help you fix it. For our next DIY, we're just going to make some farmhouse beads. I had picked these beads up from Michael's, and I had gotten this jute twine from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use my scissors. And these beads, you know, Michael's, I know right now a lot of businesses are closed right now, but Michael's does do curbside pickup. And so that was pretty awesome. I was able to order them online and then just go over there, and then somebody was able to bring them out to me. So that was awesome. Anyway, so I'm just taking a length of jute twine that that I want, and once I've decided how much I wanted, I'm just going to make a couple of knots at the end here, and I'm going to take, you know, it really helps to take a little bit of tape to the other end so that when you go to string your beads that there's no fraying. So that's just what I'm doing right here. I'm just taking a little piece of tape, taping it to the very end, and that way I can string my beads and I won't have any problems with my string. Next, we're making a little tassel, and so then I got some extra jute twine and I wrapped it around my fingers about 15 times. And these tassels are really easy to make. I had slowed down the video so that you could see a little bit easier on how I do this. There's lots of tutorials on how to make these tassels. They're so easy. So once you've gotten it wrapped around your fingers, then you're going to take some extra jute twine and you're going to put it through the center of all your loops, and you're going to tie that into a knot. Now once you've done that, then I've just taken the end of my the string of my beads and I'm slipping it through that same hole, and keeping the tape on there, it actually kind of helped me with making the couple of knots I needed at the end, and then just not being confused on which part was the tassel and which part was the end of my string of beads and stuff. So anyway, it just ended up working out for me. So I left the tape on until the very end, and then I could just clip it off when I was done with that. So taking some extra jute twine, then you're just going to wrap it around the entire, all the whole loops, all the loops. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah, so just wrapping around the whole thing, tying it in a couple of knots, and yeah, there you go. And then so then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to slip it through all your loops, and then you're going to cut them, and you'll see here in just a second me doing this. So then putting your finger through the holes, or loops, whatever you want to call them, slip your scissors in there, and then just cut the ends. And then gather them all together just so that they're all in like one length. Just give it a little haircut. There you go. Snip, snip. And there you go. You got this super cute, easy a little tassel for the end of your farmhouse beads. And I do make a second one for the other end. You can see I just draped them over this really pretty bottle that I picked up from Dollar Tree. I didn't show how to make this one, but basically the same thing. Now, I did show that if you don't have enough slack on the other end of your beads of strings, you can attach it with a little bit of hot glue and putting it at the end of the bead. So I just wanted to kind of show you both steps. And see, it just turns out looking so cute. I love it. I was super excited being able to make this. Okay, third DIY. Now, I was inspired by Shannon from the Daily DIYer, and she did this on her channel recently. I have these coasters. She used these like wood circles that were a lot thicker than what I have. So anyway, I'll try to leave a link down in the description box below so you can check out her video and how she did hers. Hers turned out super awesome. This is what I had on hand, so yeah, there you go. So you could probably paint these first, probably be a little easier if you painted them first. I didn't. I decided to assemble first, going in with the E6000 for the super strong, long-lasting hold, and then the hot glue for the immediate hold. And I'm just going to put the, I'm going to stack my little mini flower pots. Those came from Dollar Tree. My coasters actually came from our local grocery store. They were $1, so these worked out pretty perfect. So just stacking them together with the two different glues, and then I'm also going to use some wood beads from the other project and give this project some feet. And this is how it turned out with, you know, before paint and everything. And so now I'm flipping it over, and I'm just going to go ahead and I had a little bit of E6000 on the table there, so I'm just going to dip it in the E6000, and with some hot glue, I'm just giving this project some feet. Now we're ready for some paint, and I start off with using the Folk Art chalk paint in Castle, and I give this entire thing 2 coats, top, bottom, even the underside. Now that our 2 coats are nice and dry, it's time to go in with some Waverly chalk paint in white and do some distressing. I really do love how this ended up turning out. I had only gotten 2 coasters, so I think the next time I go back to the grocery store, you know, to get the whole essentials and everything, I think I'm going to try and pick up like 2 more coasters, because I'd really like to make a short version of this, because I really ended up just loving the way it turned out in the end. So next, going in with my nautical rope, I'm just going to do some embellishments, I guess you could say. I don't know. I kind of messed up here. I meant to put the nautical rope around the rim of the coaster on the bottom, but I just started gluing everything down, and I realized that I put it in the wrong spot, but I didn't really care. I ended up liking the way it turned out anyway, so no big deal. So yeah, I'm just taking my hot glue gun and just going around the rim there, and I not only wrap it around just the one time, clip it off, Then I do the same thing for in the middle, and then at the very top, I go around the rim of the coaster on the very top for that. And yeah, like I said, I just go around it just like the one time, and then I do go in later. I forgot to film it. I do go in later with my lighter and just kind of singe the little hairs off of it, just to make it look a little cleaner. And so, and then in the middle, I also had already made a little nautical rope bow that I end up hot gluing onto the front of it. So yeah, I think it turned out really cute. And y'all, that is it. I think all three of these turned out so super cute, very affordable, easy peasy, and I love every one of them. So yeah, hit that like button down below, comment, share, subscribe, and y'all have a wonderful, blessed, and stay safe day. Bye.